Are you saying there's a looser nut behind the wheel than me?
Yeah. That's hard to say. On the advice of counsel, I decline to answer because I honestly feel my answer could tend to incriminate me.
That's awesome.
Bust the crust. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard about this. There's the cryptobiotic soil, and we'll call it out if you haven't ever seen it before. It's crusty black stuff on top of the sand. It is very fragile. It helps retain moisture. It's important that we leave it alone as much as we can.
All right. Starting out the first day of Easter Jeep Safari. And taking up my traditional spot as one of the gunners on the 7-mile Rim EJS trip. We're probably 3/4 of the way back in the pack. I am the last gunner before the tail gunner, with another 3-4 Jeeps behind me, and most of the pack out front. This is a trail that I've been gunning kind of in this time slot now for the last 3 or 4 years, and always a great way to start off the week on safari and kind of warm up for the trip around Moab for the week. This is one of the trails that has been impacted by the recent closures in Moab, where we actually have a slightly different route that we are required to take in order to accommodate lands and routes that are no longer available. Shouldn't be a big deal. Should be a fun day for us.
Hi everybody. This time we're running the Pickle at 2004 Easter Jeep Safari. First trail of the week. Roy's in red because he's actually an official for this trail.
I'm a responsible adult.
Yep. Your body. I'm along for the ride. He's serving as tail gunner. I'm the one right in front of him. So we're going to go up, watch some of the action. The Pickle is one of those trails. There's 4 major obstacles and they come bang, 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 bang. So this one goes pretty quick. I'm hoping we'll get to run the Gravy Bowl, but my understanding is that that's part of the closure.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it got partly reopened or if we're going to avoid it altogether.
I don't know. We'll see. We don't want to break the law.
So, come along for the ride. Look at me. I found a friend. This one doesn't need a whole lot of grooming, does it?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, it's got a few inches on it. I think about...
Calculator remains left turn on the 7-mile Rim.
String of Jeeps heading up the hill and up the switchback.
Penny told me that when she grows up, she wants to be this Jeep. On the Pickle, we're still playing on 50-50, which is the first obstacle of the 4 that make up the Pickle. And this one was an interesting one. It was some Chinese friends who were having to deal with some translation issues, some driver noviceness issues, apparently. I can't say that for sure. And, of course, a spotter who did not speak the native language of the driver. And I think that showed up in some frustration because there was some bango about to happen here.
Doing alignments. Oh yeah. Especially because you know some of them have them like wrench slots.
Well, Roy, what happened?
They're never in a good position to actually
Part
put the
broke.
wrench on there.
So,
Yeah, now we
explain
Are you saying?
Can you
hand me that drive shaft real quick?
Yeah.
I mean, didn't intend for him to grab an actual wobble. So he's got the extensions with the wobble ends.
What you see right here
Probably.
is
Sorry.
this used to be a full piece, and there used to be a cap on there.
But yeah.
A little too much throttle, bouncing a little bit. The shock load just snapped it right off.
Are you saying there's a looser nut behind the wheel than me?
Yeah. I went from,
That's hard to say. On the advice of counsel, I declined to answer because I honestly feel my answer could tend to incriminate me.
That's awesome. So we're showing this only as a, explanation of why Roy did not get to finish this trail. As tail gunner, it was Roy's responsibility to ensure that this particular person and his family made it back to the tow truck, which was on the highway, and ensure that they got back to safety. Roy did a phenomenal job of this. It was definitely a challenge, but it did leave me as the new tail gunner, which was fine. This is the 3rd or 4th time I've run this trail, and I know the trip leader, so he was happy to have me along. So I didn't start the day as an official for Red Rocks, but I ended the day as one. I will be the first to say, though, that being a tail gunner doesn't guarantee that you're smart. My hub wasn't turned in all the way, so I was in 3-wheel drive. I wasn't trying to show off, I promise, but that's what happened. Once my lovely spotter came down and fixed my little embarrassment, Penny did really, really well.
Finally, someone used their horn.
All right, we're coming up out of Uranium Arch. This has got a little bit of a tight turn and then a climb up and out. We've now moved to the back of the line, so am the tail gunner. And we will continue inching on.
This obstacle is called the Pickle Slicer, and boy, it sliced up a few passenger side fenders on some four-doors. It was specifically targeting painted to match fenders too, and I happen to know of one door and B-pillar that might have gotten a strike on the passenger side as well. Penny's wheels or tires are wider than hers, so no real risk of body damage here, but she is a wide girl with full-width axles, so you know, it takes a little bit to get her through. Meanwhile, Kenneth was dealing with his own tight fit on his own trail.
Coming up on the semi-famous bread loaf rock, or burnt toast rock. Ram here is going to be a tight fit, so hopefully we'll slide through without too much problem. Sideways there. tight wall on the other side. Wheel gun is through. Coming up here, we're going to see about an 18-degree incline. About a 17-degree side hill. Gonna go up and around. 15-degree incline, 17, 20, and we're going to end up side hilling over here a little bit at 23, 24 degrees. It just feels really awkward, fun. Backs off to 10, 11 degrees here, 18, 19, 20. 23, 24, 25. And then we're going to point our nose down the hill for a nice 21, 22, 24 degree downhill. Tomorrow, 26-degree downhill. Tomorrow, we'll do that in the other direction.
Meanwhile, April picked up a passenger, one of the gunner's wives.
I think we saw each other last year once.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Could be.
we did Hell's Revenge.
I did Escalator. Ooh, she hit that kind of hard. She said she trusted me.
Well, we saw you last year everywhere else we know.
We know.
If you come on, don't let out. Here we go. Up.
Oh, Penny did good.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Got her.
What's your YouTube channel name?
It's called Tar Off-Road. You know, I always forget how nice it is to run with a passenger. We were chatting about trails that we have mutually done and experiences about them and what made them memorable. It's just so much fun sometimes just to have someone just hang out with me in Penny.
His emergency brake on is standard. He left it.
This is the final obstacle of the Pickle. This is called the jalapeno.
Gotta go more. There it goes.
Nice. She's a winner. You got that down. All right. Big driver. Try and find that rock. Go, April. Now back passenger.
I hope you're liking the inset because the Wolf Box does a really good job of showing you my view, including those erratic angles. There is no horizon correction with the Wolf Box. I'm also switching to the audio of the Wolf Box here so you can hear me talk to my spotter.
Yeah, you don't want to bounce.
Okay, this is hard because I'm a clutch.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump it a little bit.
Okay. There it is. Passenger. There you go.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you. And with that, the trail is mostly done. The Pickle runs out 3D, and Kenneth finished up 7 Mile just fine. Roy's charge made it back to their hotel, and as we understand it, the rig was fixed and back on the trail the next day. Great for them. Hey, thanks for watching.